working man that always made sense. When he's backing out the tractor for patching up the old wood.
All right, guys, we got Meghan Patrick here today. Meghan, thanks so much for doing this.
For having me.
Meghan has a new album that has just dropped, Grace and Grit.
Yes.
Maybe tell us how you maybe got involved in music to start off.
Well, I grew up in a very musical house. My dad's a guitar player. My mom was a DJ in college, so we were always listening to music growing up, and I was exposed to a lot of different genres from a pretty young age. It was just a big part of our family life together. I discovered I could sing when I was about 12. I auditioned for a musical. I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. I really like this. So I started taking lessons, and I studied opera, actually, all through high school, and then studied opera and jazz in university. And when I met one of my former bandmates, Sam, from the Stone Sparrows, he kind of got me into bluegrass because he grew up on that, and I just kind of fell in love with it, the harmonies and the instrumentation, which I'd always loved old country, but it kind of led me to start listening to a little bit more contemporary, modern country, and I just kind of found a home there. So, yeah.
But your dad also played an influence, I guess, as well in getting into that music. I know he made you a killer guitar mic stand last year.
Yes, he did, yeah.
So maybe tell us how your dad maybe influenced anything or to pick up the guitar.
Well, my dad he played a little bit when he was like in high school, and he picked it up, much later on in life again, just kind of as a hobby. And so I'd hear him play and stuff, and he was really into the blues. And so I learned a B.B. King song to surprise him, to play with him, because he used to go to these blues jams all the time. So I learned The Thrill Is Gone, and that used to be like our song that we did together. And it kind of just made me think, like, I'd really like to pick that up myself. And I was starting to be more interested in writing my own songs, so I wanted something I could write with. And my parents had a custom guitar made for me for my graduation present. So that was I was like, okay, I've got this beautiful guitar. I have to better learn how to play it.
Yeah. So you have a new album that
Yes.
just dropped. Congratulations. It's been a lot of hard work, I'm sure.
Yes.
Maybe tell us how this one came about, because, you wrote everything on it, or co-wrote everything on it, and you worked with some pretty heavy hitters.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was an effort on everyone's part, from my label to my manager. Basically they were the ones that went out and asked the impossible questions to help get the best people to do the record for me, and then I just had to do my part and impress them enough that they would say yes. So when Tracy called me, my manager called and said, "How would you feel about Vince Gill and Justin Eubank doing part of your record?" And I was like, this better not be a joke, because this is a really bad joke if it is. And she said, no, they heard your songs and they really like it and they want to do it. And which is just, it's a dream come true as an artist and also as a writer, to know that on the merit of these songs that I'd co-written, that these amazing people, these talented producers, and Vince as an artist as well, wanted to be part of the project. And then Chad also, after co-writing my current single, Bow Chicka Wow Wow, with him, he produced that, and he did such a great job, and he heard a few of the other songs we were planning to put on the record and really liked them, and asked, would you want me to produce those? You say yes to that, of course. And it turned out really well, because I think both of them were able to sort of hone in on sort of two different sides of me. I love to rock out. I love have a lot of Southern rock and classic rock influences. But I also came from more of an acoustic bluegrass background as well. So I think we got the best of both worlds from all the producers involved. Carly McKillop as well from One More Girl, who's become a great friend to me and kind of a mentor, because she's already sort of been down this road too. And she's an excellent producer. I think you're going to see some really great things come from her. So it was cool to work with her on this as well.
That's cool. Let's talk about songwriting a bit. Because you did co-write everything on the album.
Yes, all but one.
All but one, sorry.
Yes, there's one on there I didn't.
I'm wrong. Look at that. That's usual. My wife will tell you that. So, but that's great. So being able to release your first album and having that experience of being able to write it, how does that feel?
It feels really good.
Yeah.
And it was really important to me. At the end of the day, sort of my motto is always best song wins, But that being said, I wanted it to be a true representation of who I was. And for me, that meant, having my own songs and my own words and my own stories out there, and having the opportunity to co-write with people that were able to bring the best out in the songs and bring the best out of me. I mean, most of the people I wrote with on the record have become really great friends to me and know some of the stuff I've been through, and so they're great people. They're sort of a therapist and a friend and a writer all rolled up in one.
Well, you have some really great songs on the album.
Thank you.
Bow Chicka Wow Wow is the current single that
Yes.
has like taken off.
Yeah,
like,
it's doing
just
really well.
Unbelievable. How does that success feel for your first single? You know, watching it just continually climb the charts.
I mean, first and foremost, it's exciting. It's a little scary sometimes too, because you think when you start doing well, you kind of start to get this feeling like, well, when's the other shoe gonna drop? You know, like it's a little intimidating too. But I just kind of keep reminding myself to just enjoy the moment and be along for the ride.
So you've put together this album. Usually that comes with a tour, but you've fallen on festival season.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
when you release an album April 29th, you've got a boatload of festivals that you're signed up for. CMT Fest being one of them.
Yes, yeah.
What's it going to feel like to get out on that, you know, big festival stage? I know you played Boots and Hearts before.
Yes. Well, CMT Fest specifically is really exciting because I'm playing with Eric Church, and anyone who knows me knows my love for Eric Church. He's just a huge inspiration and idol for me in the country music world. I just think he's so talented. So that's a really exciting aspect for me. I think the big one for me, though, is going to be at the Stampede this summer at the Saddle Dome, opening up for Lady Antebellum.
Nice.
Because, I mean, it's such an epic venue. Lady Antebellum is incredible live. It's one of the best live shows I've ever seen. So it's going to be really exciting to be up there. And, you know, I saw Blake Shelton there last year and just remember thinking, like, I can't wait till I get to be up there one day. And now it's happening, so.
Sooner than later, right?
Yeah, sooner than I
later.
thought, for sure, yeah.
Let's talk about the Boots and Hearts kickoff party that you are going to be doing. You're doing 2 shows.
Yes.
You're doing the one in Toronto with Blackjack Billy.
Yep.
And then you'll also be doing the one in Barrie
Yes,
at the ranch.
at the ranch, yeah.
How does that, like, are you excited to play a venue like that and really be in with country fans again?
For sure, yeah. I've been to the ranch before in Barrie, and it was just wild. Like I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a great party. I always love, you know, Canadian Music Week is always a good time, so I'm excited to be a part of that at the Phoenix. It's another cool venue, and that'll be actually kind of the first real full performance with the full band and everything. So I'm really excited for everyone to see what we've been working on.
Well, you know, you touched on, you know, playing the festivals and things like that. Let's talk a bit about social media.
Okay.
You know, you're very active on it.
Yeah.
You know, you post the good and the bad, you know, which is always nice to see. How do you find that using social media has been able to help you reach more audience?
Well, you know, because the internet is crazy. You know, you put something up there and you better be prepared for it to be shared and liked and maybe disliked and whatever, you know. So it's just been really cool. I'm realizing how much support I really have, and, you know, people sharing it and sending it to their friends, and, you know, and it kind of just, it ends up reaching people that you never really expected. You know, you get messages or posts from people that are not even in Canada or, you know, in different places around the world, and say that, oh, I really love your music, or I love this video, and that's really cool. It's nice to know that you're reaching a broader audience. So it's definitely the best tool for that.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank
really
you for having
appreciate
me.
it. Meghan Patrick, everybody, head out, make sure you grab it now. Grace and Grit has a boatload of great songs on it, and you won't be disappointed.
Whenever he's around, it's like a bow chicka wow wow. Sweating in a heat wave, cleaning out the old halo.